Good morning, Off the Gridders. Brian here with another episode of Off the Grid, daily motivational and technical training for off the grid living. Welcome. Today, I'm going to talk about having a dog in an off the grid setting. When you move to an off the grid environment and you move with your dog, you need to take a couple of steps in order to assure your dog has a comfortable and safe existence with you off the grid. 1. You should go to the vet right away when you're planning to go off the grid. You should give your dog a full medical checkup, right? Make sure that everything is good. You should also inquire with the doctor about possible medications that you can take into the woods off the grid with you in case you need to give your dog some medicine. Depending on where you live in the world and what kind of dog you have, the doctor may have some advice for you about some over-the-counter or even prescription medications that he can help you with, that you can take with you when you move off the grid with your dog. So 1, you want to get a thorough medical examination. You want to do inquiry with your doctor, your vet. You want to discuss where you're planning on living with your dog and what kind of environment the dog will be in while living there. All right? Next thing you want to do is get your dog their shots, right? While you're at the vet, it's important to talk about all the vaccinations, make sure your dog is up to date. It's very important. It's you're going to be living off the grid, and your dog is not going to have access to the vet like the dog has access to the vet living in the suburb or the city, right? So let's take care of the shots before you get your dog out there off the grid with you. Train your dog. The dog should be well trained before going off the grid. You don't want to lose your dog. You don't want your dog to run away, right? You don't want your dog to attack your neighbors or your neighbors' livestock, right? You need a well-trained dog who will respond to your commands and will stay at home, wants to be with you. Otherwise, you're going to have to cage the dog or chain the dog. It would be better to have an extremely well-trained dog off the grid. These pieces of advice seem obvious, but from what we've studied about people living off the grid with their animals, a lot of people don't follow the advice we're giving today. All right? And then one last little piece of advice about moving off the grid with your dog is you should learn how to make dog food, right? You don't want to buy your own dog food. You're living off the grid. You're going to be living without a lot of the modern day conveniences, and many of you will be making and growing a lot of your own food, farming, raising livestock, and you should learn how to make dog food. There are several good recipes out there, depending on the breed and the size and the age of the dog. You can find these recipes online, right? You can find them in a book in the library. And you should get the dog used to the kind of food they'll be eating before you move out there. You'd hate to move off the grid and change your dog's diet overnight, right? And have your dog not want the food. He won't eat well, he won't have good health, and he won't survive, right? So if you're going to make changes to your dog's diet when you move off the grid, you should make those changes before you move. So the dog has a transition period and you can evaluate how your dog is reacting to the new diet. All right. Hope you guys have a great day off the grid. Once again, these motivational and technical trainings are not meant to be a one-stop shop for everything on the subject, but rather to motivate you to get going and get out there and learn more about the subject we're discussing. So go out there and kick some butt today, improving your land or improving your knowledge about off-the-grid living, and come back and enjoy our motivational technical trainings daily at eOffGrid. Once again, this is Brian from Online Land Sales. Have a great day.